Hey, what's up? This is Asher here from Revenue Journey. Now in this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Now you will have realized in most of my videos, I typically only show you a segment or a portion of the things that I would do for a client or for myself, especially when it comes to finding the proper target lead list or maybe using AI to build personalized or relevant lines. But in this video, I wanted to go through a process where I pick a company, showcase to you what I will look for when I'm going through their website, and how I would then go about to build an outbound campaign for them. So if this is interesting for you, please stay on. And if you're interested to see how we can do this for your company as well, please reach out to me in the description below. There are many other ways to contact me. So on to the video right now. Alright, so let's start with this company called HubBox. Now just a quick disclaimer here, HubBox is not a client of mine. I tried to reach out to them, but it seems like they don't really need my service as of this moment. But that's fine, I'm still going to use them as an example because I think they are really cool software for many retailers out there. So before we go into the company, let's take a look at some of the typical steps that we will take when we are working with a client. So firstly, we will have the onboarding, right? Now within the onboarding form, we will have a lot of questions around, hey, help us understand what is your unique proposition, what do you do, what is a value that you give to your clients that other people can't give, who are your target clients and things like that. Now normally these are the information that we will be getting from the clients, and we will then start to go into the initial campaign building. But in this case, I'll just go through how I would do some initial research for a client or potential client myself. So again, if we go into HubBox, let's look at what they provide. They provide software for the retailers to offer pickup points and lockers as a shipping option. And as you can see, there's also the overview here. But let's just go into the website. So unlocking the power of pickup. And let's just look at some other information, right? They got some good stats here. 70% of shoppers want the option to choose pickup at checkout, gives them a competitive edge. Okay, so we roughly understand that they're trying to work with retailers or e-commerce companies in this case, and they're trying to offer these e-commerce companies the ability to add a option of pickup rather than just delivery. And let's look at some of the ways they do it. Okay, so they have some images here, and they integrate with all these different software. Okay, great. So some of the other things that I may want to look out for is maybe also their integrations. What are the platforms that they integrate with? So with e-commerce clients, typically they want to integrate with the likes of Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce. So they have that here. Pickup networks. And if you look at it, DPD, UPS, Royal Mail. So these are some of the partner carriers that they work with. So it probably also means that if, let's say, any prospect already uses any of these carriers as their delivery partner, they are probably a better fit as well. And lastly, I'll just look at some customer stories. So again, as I'm going through this, you can see these are just some of the steps I take when it comes to just trying to understand a little bit more about company, their value proposition. Again, you can see Sneaker Politics, Lucy, brown bag clothing. Okay, so what I would normally do is, again, I'll read into some of these customer stories, right? But just to let you all know, I already did some research before this. So yes, I've really read some of these different case studies. So what we will now do is we'll go into the steps that we have talked about, which is number one, we map out the accounts, what is a right fit account, and we try to find relevant information so we can personalize this at scale. Okay, so just based on what we have seen so far, this is what I would imagine. I would imagine that their best fit clients are these e-commerce clients who uses Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, any of the integrations that they support, and they are already using DPD, UPS, Royal Mail, and DHL. Again, why this is important is because if a client is already using this, right, that will mean that firstly, you don't really have to convince them to use another delivery carrier because they are already convinced of it. And if they are using any of these platforms that HubBox already integrates with, it just also means that integration and implementation timeline is much shorter, and that is really attractive for some clients. So let's take a look at what I imagine their current sales process is now. Okay, so I would imagine because they are a SaaS platform, they will probably have their BDRs, AAs, or SDRs looking for these e-commerce stores, potentially using LinkedIn Sales Navigator as a database. Because again, for many of these SaaS companies, they go into LinkedIn Sales Navigator to start with. And what they will do is that they will slowly go into the websites of these potential e-commerce companies, and they may start to navigate to pages such as shipping, return, delivery, FAQ, terms and conditions to try to find out the delivery partner and try to use maybe something like Build With to find out the e-commerce platforms that they use. Once that is done, they then determine are they tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1, obviously, it means if they check 2 of the criteria. Tier 2 meaning they only check either one of this, and Tier 3 means they have none of the above. And what I imagine is that this whole research process can take hours. Sales reps may be spending anywhere from 50% or more of their time just building the right list so they can prioritize reaching out to the Tier 1 clients. And I just wanted to give you a quick idea on why the research takes so long, right? Because again, if let's say I am on Sneaker Politics, which is one of their clients over here, and I go into returns, I can't really just find the delivery partner that they work with. I can't really do it. I got to go to some place such as FAQ. And this also took me some time to figure out that, okay, this is where I can find the information. So FAQ, it will say, hey, what shipping providers do you use? Okay, so we finally have our answer. They do work with UPS. And if we look at another of their customer, in this case, it's probably more straightforward. If I go into delivery and returns, I can find, they work with DPD, for example. So you can start to imagine if a sales rep or SDR or BDR has to start to do this for hundreds of accounts, it will easily take them 1 whole day or 2 whole days just trying to put this information together. And we are still not getting the part where we are trying to find the context and writing out the email. So the question is, how can we streamline this portion and do it at scale, help the SDRs or the sales rep find the relevant information, and also give them more information for them to better personalize and make their messaging relevant? That's what we are going to dive into right now. So jumping into Clay, this is where we'll begin our process. Now, again, if you do not know, if you're first time coming into my channel, Clay is probably one of the best go-to-market tool out there, especially when it comes to building your outbound campaigns. And throughout this video, you will see why. Now, I will start off obviously with a list of potential prospects, right? Now, in this case, because it's a demo, I'm just using all of their current clients to show you how it will look like. But if you are trying to, let's say, reach out to e-commerce clients, I would highly encourage you to go into a place like StoreLeads. Now, StoreLeads, when it comes to e-commerce companies, is probably one of the best database out there because you can do things such as trying to filter companies based on the platforms that they use, like Shopify, WooCommerce, or you can even choose things such as the country that they are based in. So in this case, let's say UK. So I can choose that. And I can download these companies as a CSV. And what it typically will give me as well is the platform that they use. So if you go back into Clay, this is what I would have. I would typically have the company name, website, or e-commerce. Now, if let's say today you're in a situation where you just have the website, that's fine as well. We can use AI to find out the company name. And at the same time, we can add enrichment. And again, Clay has this, right? They have different integrations with different platforms out there, such as BuildWith, which can help you find the technology stack of a website. So I can just use BuildWith and try to find out their e-commerce platform. So that's step number 1. We already have their e-commerce platform. Next thing we got to do is we need to find out what's their delivery partners. So step 1, find the delivery partners. Again, instead of going to each website and doing it manually, what I could do is I could ask AI to do a web research. Now within Clay, we have this thing called Claygen, which think of it as a AI operator where you give them a set of instructions. They will go into the website or any place that you ask them to go check out some maybe research on certain website or check out some information on a particular page. They'll go into it and find the information. So in this case, I actually told Claygen, I say, hey, go to the website and navigate to pages like shipping, return, delivery, FAQ, terms and conditions. Try to find out the delivery partner that they use and give me a list of them. So we have returned quite a few things. FedEx, for example, what do we have? Parcel Shop, Impulse Locker, things like that. UPS, FedEx, great. Step 2, I want to confirm, hey, does any of the delivery partners that they use, are they also partners that we work with? So we already can see within HubBox, they do have a few delivery partners that they work with. In this case, I'll just use DPD, UPS, Royal Mail, and DHL. And if you go back into Clay, you can see that, we filtered out the delivery partners that they work with and HubBox works with as well. And just to make things more fun, I also told AI, hey, look for their best-selling item or their most popular item. And what I want to do with this is typically just based on that, write a personalized first line. Again, just imagine if you're reaching out to someone who's an e-commerce owner, just by including something like a particular product they have, talk about how you would use it, that also just shows a little bit of difference. You stand out a little bit more. They will feel like, wow, you actually look at my website. So that's what we want to do as well with AI. So product one-liner, something like this. Hey, I will be perfect for my basketball games, bring style and performance to a court. Or we can say, I can't wait to uncourt the 2021 Artist Series for my next dinner party. Sounds perfectly rich. So something like that. So based on what we have so far, we can actually start to take this together, find the contact information, and we start to put together a highly relevant message. So let's look at how it roughly looks like. it will look something like this. So if I open this up, hey John, was looking into your shipping and delivery policy and noticed that you are using UPS as one of your delivery partners. Now take note, this is one of the variables that we got after we got AI to do its research. Reaching out because HubBox enables e-commerce clients like yours to enable pick up at checkout, giving customers more options when it comes to receiving products. In fact, we already partner with UPS and we integrate with Shopify, which I believe is the e-commerce platform you're using today. Great. So this is another variable that we actually use. Our clients saw a 55% increase. So this is the case study. We also want to do that. And we have the final personalized line. So even the subject line, you can see we are saying something that is relevant to them. So there's a couple of things that make this email really good. Number one, we have an email that does look like, firstly, we're pointing out something that they already know, like this is definitely for them. And at the same time, it could look like something that is from internal. And they will definitely open up this message because this looks really interesting. And it says, we have a couple of, I would say, business relevant variables as well. Of course, firstly is the UPS and Shopify. And we also talk about our case study over here. And we end off with a one-liner. So these are some of the good aspects of a good personalized email. And we did that for another one as well. So this is the one where they use DPD. And as you can see, because it's a different delivery partner, we change it accordingly as well. Now let's look at how it actually looks like when we are putting this together. You can see the parts where we have the variable. We are essentially just using the information that we've gotten and we're putting it here. So just by using Clay and a good research, you can start to see how we can put this together into a great outbound campaign and send it to hundreds upon thousands of prospects without us having to go through it manually. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. As you can see, we went through a couple of things. Firstly, we talk about how we research a website, try to find out what they offer and how we can create an outbound campaign from there. At the same time, we have things such as finding the relevant databases to put in the information of potential prospects, using AI and different integrations within Clay to find the relevant information such that at the end of the day, we can output a highly personalized and relevant message. So if this is interesting for you and you would like to find out how we can do it for you and your company as well, please feel free to go down to the video description and click on the link below. Work with me, you can find my website, and yeah, let me know and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. For now, I wish you all the best in running your own outbound campaign and I hope this was helpful. All right, take care and stay safe.